We have two items on the list for this, to be presented to the board. Mr. Jinko, we'll turn it over to your hands.
Ms. Tilly, everyone, good afternoon. We come and ask for approval for a change to our contract for our administrators. We were taking our old contract and we were adding some parts that we liked from Mr. Bob Hammond's contract. And then it just hit us that, well, instead of making all these changes, let's just use Mr. Hammond's contract. He will be the attorney that we use if for some reason we have to have adverse personnel action with one of our administrators. So we asked for the approval of his contract, along with, there is another little section that we have come up with. It's called a performance objectives section. This will be for our administrators. The contract talks about very specific performance things related to job description and so forth. But what we'd like to add with the performance objectives, this is going to be very specific to that particular school. That principal and that school manager will get together and develop the performance contracts that they want that particular school, that particular principal to hit for, since we're in A-Meet, for A-Meet Elementary. The performance objectives at A-Meet Elementary may be different than the performance objectives at Kentwood High School. But the very generic contract that they signed that talks about doing job description duties, handling the core values of the school system will be the same. The performance objectives allow us to get a little bit more specific at each individual school that we are governing and that our school principals and school managers work with. So that is our reasoning for changing contracts and adding the performance objectives.
Okay, before we start, Mr. Jinko, this is a continuation, right? We've always had both the contract.
We've always had an administrative contract. Yes, sir.
And we've always had the performance appraisals, basically.
I'm going to say that's a yes or no. We've had, our previous contract had certain items that were bulleted, related, that we wanted every particular school to do. Those things are going to be the generic part of Mr. Hammond's contract. What we have found is that some things that need to be done at certain schools are not specifically spelled out in the contract. So we want this performance objectives piece that we can specifically spell it out at each one of our campuses to improve the performance of our schools, specifically our students.
I think we need a motion and a second to discuss it further.
Who's on personnel? We do a roll call?
I don't think she called the roll yet.
No.
Did you?
My apologies, Ms. Cindy. Would you please call the roll?
You're the chairman.
I'm not blaming you. I'm putting this on myself.
Mr. Moore,
Here.
Ms. Simmons,
Here.
Ms. Abrams, Mr. Westmoreland.
Present.
Okay, so
Somebody make a motion.
now if we can get a motion,
I'll make the motion to accept it.
can we get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, the motion made by Ms. Simmons and second by Ms. Abrams.
So the Exhibit A is going to be something different for every person that signs this?
For every school, yes, sir. And that principal will work with their immediate supervisor. Then the principal will take the performance objectives and work with their APs, who will sign the performance objectives also.
Very good.
Mr. Jinko, is this appraisal, right, is just for the entire student body for each school? Is this going to be used to evaluate the individual teachers?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
This is, I'll give you a little bit of concrete, and I'll do ABC High School. So ABC High School's principal will say this contract here, that he or she is going to follow the objectives of their job description. So the principal and his or her immediate supervisor will get together and we'll look at it and say, okay, principal of ABC High School, we see that your ACT score the last few years has gone up X number of points. We want to work, as one of your objectives is to work on the English part of the ACT score to get that up to X. It's at X, and we want to move it to Y. That's what the performance objectives could be at that school. Another school, they may want to work on math. another school, it could be, you know, I want to increase my work keys that my students are doing at the high school. So it's going to be very specific to that particular high school, or I'm sorry, that particular school, that the principal and their immediate supervisor work together. The principal then will take this and work that with his or her APs, who are going to help them obviously fill this out and row in the boat for them to get those objectives met.
All right, is there any other discussion? Any other
Call
questions?
for a
We call, Cindy, we call for a vote?
Voting is open.
Cindy? Yes.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, so we have a job description. Consider approval of the job description for registered dietitian, nutritional and wellness services. Mr. Jenko, you want to elaborate on that?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Moore. In the last few years, we've had an individual that has been under kind of a 25-hour-a-week contract that has helped out with these services. Unfortunately, that individual is leaving us, so we would like to go ahead and advertise for a full-time employee that will help not only with the dietitian aspect of meals for our students that have special diets and so forth, but this person will also help us with the nutrition and wellness activities and ventures that the USDA are asking us to do with our students with our school food service meals. This individual will pay for with school food service funds.
I'll make a motion.
Roll call.
Motion by Ms. Robbins.
Second.
And so a motion has been made by
Ms. Robbins.
Ms. Robbins and second by
Ms. Sanders?
Ms. A. Ms. Sanders. So we call for a vote.
Voting is open.
Yes. I thought I was in, but it's not letting me.
Voting is closed. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, unless there's any more discussion concerning personnel.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes.
So do we have a lot of people that are retiring? Has there been a massive turnover or anything that we should be aware about?
And I wish we could turn the cameras off when I say this, because I'm gonna knock on some wood and everything. We are further ahead this year than we've been in quite a few years with the fulfillment of our staffing needs at our schools. We're very happy with where we are. And I think a lot of the credit goes to not only the public, but to the board. Our salaries are a lot more competitive than they have been in the past. And that is a commitment that everyone has said. So we feel good right now on July 14th of where we are. Our vacancies are very few. Our principals are using our unified talent system to fill them. We've had more certified individuals apply with us than we have in the past. So we're very happy where we are. We're not content. We're going to continue to keep pushing it and keep our recruiting efforts up.
What about all in our support departments? Have we had some people apply for those different positions?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Our application pool has increased pretty significantly when we advertise for jobs.
Can we put out since we accepted the new salary schedule and actually substitute teachers will get paid more, maybe we could do a little plug on trying to advertise for substitute teachers?
We're working with ESS on that. I know they put something out the other day for school food service workers, so we're doing for custodians, teachers, et cetera. Yes, ma'am.
Great. Maybe people won't be as scared to come back to actually help us work this year with things not quite as bad as they were a couple of years ago. Knock on wood again.
Hey, Ron, we all changed this up. We all got, to about employees, we all got an email from a person that was non-certified for years.
Correct.
And she got certified. But when she looked at her pay scale, she seems to think that she starts at year one. And her thought process was, I've been doing this for, years and years and years like a certified teacher. Now I'm certified. Should I start out as an experienced teacher So I don't know if y'all looking at that or asking questions about that or talking about it, but I just want to bring it up. 'Cause
Yes,
we did
we-
receive an email about that.
We have talked about it, and that is a board policy, that the years of
Oh, okay.
experience are for certified individuals. So if I work 5 years as a non-certified individual, and I get certified, and I start on the regular pay scale, I would start at the first year of pay.
And that's something that comes from us, from the personnel committee or the finance committee, you think?
That would be policy committee,
It's on the salary schedule.
salary schedule, and under the policies. Yes, sir.
So in other words, you don't go back, you start where they became certified.
Their first year certification starts year one on the
With the pay
certified
scale.
teacher pay scale. Yes, ma'am.
And then I got something too on my email today, or text, or whatever it is, about this item, and they asked, why is there no attachment for item A? What is?
Because they just added it to it. It wasn't on it earlier, I saw.
But they added it when?
Sometime later today. This,
So-
We
I
made it
need the answer.
visible today. Yes,
Huh?
ma'am. We made it visible today.
Is
The
it-
item A related to the administrative contract?
Yeah, what, that you just finished, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We made that visible
So
today.
I can tell them that we added it later today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, maybe
And if
they-
it's an administrator, tell them they'll be seeing it up close and personal very soon.
Okay.
sounds good.
All right, so that is the itinerary for the Personnel Committee. If there are no more comments, Personnel Committee stands adjourned.
Thank you.
Oh, I have a question. So when will transportation will start, the Personnel Committee for that? Will that be later, before school starts? You know, transportation.
Correct. Now, remember with the Act One, and since we were in our new unit, our provisional status, we will not have personnel committees anymore. Ms. Stilley will make the recommendations
Okay.
and notify everyone.
That's good.